The 19th annual WIAA Girls State Basketball Championships are brought to you exclusively statewide by Senex Land O'Lakes and your local cooperatives, partners you can trust. The Dairy Farm Families of Wisconsin, whose commitment to quality shows in every real dairy product. Marshfield Clinic, Wisconsin's most comprehensive healthcare system. The Rural Insurance Companies, providing Wisconsin families and businesses with a full line of insurance needs. And by the Wisconsin Technical College System, providing education for employment in today's high-tech world.
Welcome back to the UW Fieldhouse, where the Fall Creek Crickets are ready to take on Owen Withee Blackhawks, a rematch of the regular season finale between these two teams to see who plays Oostburg in Saturday's Division III final. Well, joining us right now here on the Fieldhouse floor is the media coordinator for the game of today's Division III semifinals, Fall Creek and Owen Withee. And here to join us and to give us what's coming up on this game are WXOW's Chris Roth and Gail Champion.
Thanks very much, Mark. How you doing, everybody? Chris Roth from WXOW TV in La Crosse, Wisconsin, and Gail Champion, the head coach at New Berlin West High School. I got all these West and Central and East coaches around here. I don't know what I'm doing. But two teams, Carol, Fall Creek and Owen Withee, no strangers to each other. In fact, this will be the 24th meeting between these two schools. This is the third time they've met down in the Fieldhouse in Madison, twice in the semis, including today, once in the finals. All the games so far, except for the one for today, obviously, won by Fall Creek, and Fall Creek a decided edge in the overall series, 17-6. And maybe more importantly, Gail, the last time they met this season, the final game of the regular season, a very decided Fall Creek win by 25 points.
Both teams won the Clover Belt Conference. One came from the East, one came from the West, and in that final game, like you said, Fall Creek was just overwhelmingly convincing that they were strong at that point. But Owen Withee since then has won 5 games and is looking really strong, and that's what they want to build on today.
Very strange season for Owen Withee in the fact that they lost their first 2 games right out of the gate. Then they rattled off, I think it was 16 straight wins. Right. Then they lost their final 2 games this season, so they bookended with a couple losses, but the big one was the 25-point loss. We talked with both coaches yesterday, and some coaches maybe wouldn't want to talk about it if they had won by so much. Maybe get overconfident, but both coaches have addressed that loss with their teams.
Right. Fall Creek doesn't seem that they'd be overconfident. They know it's hard to beat a good team a third time, and as far as the state tournament is concerned. And Owen Withee, they're just looking at it as another game. You know, this is a chance to play another game, and here we are at the state tournament, and it doesn't matter who the opponent is. We're going to go out and do our best.
Talk about the different styles here. Even though it was a decided edge in one game, Fall Creek likes to play it a different way than Owen Withee.
Right. Owen Withee really wants to push the ball up the floor, spread the floor out, penetrate, try to get it to their big center inside, Robin Patonis, and it's going to be a defensive battle on both ends of the court.
That's what worked for Fall Creek the last time. We'll have to find out if it works for them today to get Owen Withee in foul trouble. That was the game plan the first time around. That'll be the game plan today. If it works, we'll find out. We'll have the starting lineups for you and set the table for this game when we come back. From a word from your local stations, I believe, this is your WIAA network station.
Fireman.
Who will face the Flying Dutchman in the Division III championship game on Saturday? Will it be the Crickets? Will it be the Blackhawks? We're about to find out, but right now let's meet the Crickets and the Blackhawks. Here's PA announcer Jack Rain.
Ladies and gentlemen, here are the starting lineup for this morning's second Division III semifinal. For the Blackhawks of Owen Withee. At forward, a 5'10" senior, number 34, Helene Grakowski. For the Crickets of Fall Creek. At forward, a 5'9" junior, number 35, Jesse Rader. For Owen Withee, a 5'5" sophomore, number 30, Kelly Wehrman. For Fall Creek, a 5'10" senior, number 45, Tony Quass. At center, for Owen Withee, a 6'1" senior, number 50, Robin Vitonis. For Fall Creek at center, a 5'11 senior, number 53, Cindy Schumacher. The guard for Owen Withee, a 5'2 sophomore, number 4, Jill Neer. For Fall Creek at guard, a 5'4 junior, number 23, Holly Crandall. For Owen Withee, a 5'3 senior, number 32, Candy Greshner. For Fall Creek, a 5'7 junior, number 41, Susan Sackett. The coaches are Owen Withee Blackhawks, coached by Al Goodman. The Fall Creek Crickets, coached by Arnie Scrupro. The officials assigned by the WIAA for this Division III semifinal are from the Appleton area, Ron Brinkman and Bill McGinnis.
Bill McGinnis and Ron Brinkman are officials for the second Division III semifinal here on Thursday morning. Owen Withee, the Blackhawks, at 21-4, meeting the Fall Creek Crickets 21-3, as you mentioned earlier, Gail, both from the Clover Belt Conference. Fall Creek, the champions of the Western Clover Belt. Owen Withee, the champions of the Eastern Clover Belt, and as we said, they met. Then the champions of both play each other at the end of the season. Fall Creek won that game 64-39, and under Arnie Scrupro in this series, Fall Creek is 16-3 against the Blackhawks. To jump center, Robin Vitonis and Tony Quast, and the ball tipped out of bounds, and it will belong to the Crickets.
She really got up on that ball, took it right out of bounds for me to get it.
Little adrenaline flowing at the start. Crickets lineup, Holly Crandall with the ball. That's Tony Quast. Crandall, Schumacher on the inside. They get it inside to Quast. Little turnaround off the glass, and Fall Creek gets the first two of the game.
Fall Creek opening in a man-to-man. Somebody may take a lot of pride in.
Nice penetration by Jill Neer, who left it for Colleen Grakowski. And right away, both teams scoring on their first shot. Susan Sackett trying to bring the ball across. Tony Quast, Jessie Rader, Cindy Schumacher, and Holly Crandall. This is Sackett. Tony Quast. Sackett having trouble tracking it down, but she does, and gets it to Crandall. Schumacher working on Robin Vitonis. Blocked by Vitonis. And they're already ahead of the last pace. They were 30 seconds into the game. The last meeting, they were in foul trouble. So they're doing much better already.
I would figure that Schumacher would try to take it to Vitonis early and get her in the foul trouble that she was in last time. Along with Grakowski, who's also in foul trouble. Now they're opening in a 1-3-1.
Ball loose inside. Jump ball will belong to Owen Withee. There you get a good look at Al Gutman in his 18th year, assisted by Bill Neer, whose daughter Jill is the starting point guard, and she has the ball.
Only a sophomore. A lot of young players in the tournament this year again.
Loose ball picked out of there by Robin Vitonis, who gets her first two of the game. 4-2 Blackhawks.
Full court pressure, dropping it back into the 1-3-1.
Rader loose ball kicked out of there and stolen by Grakowski. This is Kelly Werman up ahead to Candy Greshner. They'll look inside. That's what they want to do. Pound it into Vitonis and Grakowski. Interior pass taken out of there, though, by Jessie Rader. Turnover number 2 early on for the Blackhawks. 2-2 in the game. Always a pleasure to be working with our crack statistician, Don Kerr. Rebound ripped out of there by Vitonis.
Vitonis seemed a little nervous or uptight before the game started, but now she's got her rebounding going and block shots. And
turnaround in the paint a little bit short. Grakowski can't hold on to the offensive rebound. Getting back to Robin Vitonis, we mentioned the foul trouble earlier on in the first game, and Coach Al Gutman said yesterday that she knew she played probably her worst game of the season during that last Fall Creek game, so she's been gunning for this one.
Player of the year out of the Clover Belt East Conference. A fine one.
Schumacher gets Vitonis up in the air. She recovered for the block. with a foul underneath. They did get Vitonis. We'll see what happens.
Little head fake, ducked under, and went up strong. She's a very strong post player.
Good recovery by Vitonis to get the block, but they said she got the body as well, so Cindy Schumacher, a 59% free throw shooter, goes to the line, misses the first one. 12.3 points a game for the senior, who's been a starter for the Crickets for 3 years. Coach Arnie Strukrud said she wasn't really a classic post player, but she was forced to move down there as a sophomore, and she's learned to play the position.
She's actually played all 5 positions. She started at guard and then gradually moved into the center position, probably due to their lack of height and her good post move.
Here's Holly Crandall after the loose ball was picked out of there by the Crickets. Crandall inside to Rader. Well, they're having a tough time getting the shots off inside against Vitonis and Grukowski.
They're kind of shooting a little bit too quick. I think they want to break that defense down a little bit more.
Nice feed from Jill Neer to Vitonis. She's got 4. 6-3 Blackhawks. Sackett loads it up from the elbow. 6-5 Owen Withee. Vitonis at the high post, couldn't handle the pass, a little bit overthrown there.
Right. They really like to get it to her, let her turn shoot, or maybe drive to the basket with the pass off. She just couldn't handle that pass.
Good pass, Sackett back inside to Schumacher. What a move.
Those are the moves we're talking about. She's got a big repertoire of post-up moves.
And that puts the Crickets back on top, 7-6. Schumacher with 3 points working. There's the high post again to Vitonis, and she gets the roll.
They're really going to need some backside defense on that lob.
6 points for Robin Vitonis. She averages 17. Crandall gets inside.
Just a little bit.
Put that extra step between the Twin Towers. The WIAA State Tournament is brought to you statewide by your local Senex, Land O'Lakes, and your local cooperatives. Partners you can trust. Here to Kelly Worman. Gets it back out top to Candy Gretschner. Colleen Grukowski working on Schumacher. Back to Jill Neer. Back inside to Grukowski. Ball dribbled around and out of bounds off.
That time the defense just collapsed on her. She lost the handle.
Into the game, Carissa Connell, a 5'10 freshman for the Crickets. She was called up middle of the season when Becky Gundry went down with an injury, and when Gundry came back, Connell stayed on as well. Ball tipped out of bounds. 52, Royce Ruby into the game for the Blackhawks. As she got Robin Vitonis during that last dead ball. Crickets to work the length of the floor. Denise Arneson, a freshman point guard, trying to bring it up, and the foul will be on Candy Gretschner, her first. This is Al Gretschner and Arnie Strukrud, our head coaches today. Both been around for a while, and no strangers to each other, that's for sure.
I was going to say, Arnie's like a legend here in the field house. Yeah.
We just call him Arnie for the rest of the day. Connell, the freshman, takes it strong to the rack. Couldn't get it to go, and then a jump ball off the rebound. Ruby grabbed it for Owen Withee. And we're going to take a timeout here with Owen Withee leading 8-7. The WIAA State Championship Girls Basketball Tournament will continue after these messages from our statewide sponsors, the Wisconsin Technical College System and Senex, Land O'Lakes. This is your WIAA Network station. Welcome back to the Fieldhouse here in Madison, Wisconsin. Our second Division III semifinal, Fall Creek and Owen Withee. You take a look at the early shooting. That's very good for Owen Withee, a team that shoots about 37% on the year.
Good start for both teams, really.
But the key thing for Owen Withee is where the shots are coming from. And so far they're coming from inside, which is where they need to be successful. Gretschner taking it across the court. Now maybe she'll go all the way in. She would have, but Denise Arneson was there to pick up the foul, the freshman. backups at both guards.
Owen Withee had been playing 2 sophomores during the last 2 losses of the season due to Greshner's ankle injury, and the coach said that she's as well as she's going to be. She's right back where...
Vitonis back inside, clears everybody out, scores again. 8 out of the 10 points for Owen Withee by Robin Vitonis. The senior already having a much better game than she did against the Crickets the last time they met.
We need her leadership out there. Fall Creek put so much pressure on at the guards. It's tough for the sophomores.
Now that was a freshman taking it to the rack. That was pretty good.
Now we know why she stayed up in the JV team. She earned her spot.
Arnie says she doesn't really play like a freshman. Nothing seems to phase her very much, and that was a strong move. Rukowski gets it off the penetration from Warman, and the foul on Becky Gundry, the junior, number 43. She had an injury earlier in the year, Becky Gundry, a hairline fracture of her right elbow. She was starting at the time, but since coming back from the injury, she's played better coming off the bench. And Jessie Rader, who stepped in, has remained in the starting lineup.
And Coach said played better starting, so sometimes you have to find that out.
Krakowski rainbows the first one in. She's a 52% free throw shooter on the year, averaging 11 points a game. She's got 3 so far today. 2:06 to go in the opening quarter, and that one makes it 12-9 Blackhawks.
Full court pressure, kind of step in the passing lane, slow it down a little bit, make those guards really work.
So 2 freshmen in the game for Coach Arnie right now. Cindy Schumacher, who's come back in, runs into Vitonis. The foul will be on Schumacher, her first.
I think she lost her footing and then just leaned into her. Schumacher's not only an inside post player, but a 3-point threat and a perimeter player, so she's a tough girl to defend.
So here come the Blackhawks with a 3-point lead. Kelly Warman, Greshner, Neer, Grakowski, and Vitonis, the starting 5 in for the Blackhawks. 2 subs in for the Crickets. The drive off there by Greshner, and Sackett has the ball. Becky Gundry, and she couldn't hold on to it. It's a turnover, number 6 on the Crickets. The lob tipped away and stolen by Gundry, but before she could rip it away, jump ball, and this time will go to the Blackhawks.
We're starting to read that lob pass a little bit better defensively. We'll probably have to make a few more passes before they can get it inside again.
You mentioned earlier you're surprised they didn't have somebody come up from behind. And they're still not doing that. Well, this time she does. It wasn't really a lob pass, but Gundry the steal. To Sackett on the break, she lays it in.
They're not a fast-breaking team, but when the opportunity's there, they're not going to pass it up.
Ball nearly stolen by Arneson, but as it was, tipped by Kelly Warman, so the Crickets do get the turnover. That's 7 on the Blackhawks. Inside of a minute, it's a 1-point Owen Withee lead.
Owen Withee playing the 3 small guards at the same time, picking up their speed and trying to push the ball up the court. Put a lot of pressure in the backcourt.
Arnie sends Tony Quast back in to replace Becky Gundry. Bobs it up ahead to Schumacher. Now they'll reload the offense. Arneson out on top. Schumacher, there's the 3 you talked about. That one was short, and little Jill Neer has the rebound. There you see the time remaining in the opening quarter. 12-11 Owen Withee. They're in the black. Fall Creek in the green and white. Vitonis takes it inside and gets another kind roll. She is having a whale of a first quarter. "15 seconds, 3-point lead for Owen Withee. Sackett to Schumacher, 7 seconds, tipped out of there by Neer.
Neer's all over the floor.
See if they can get a shot off. No. So the Blackhawks playing much better this time around against the Crickets. They lead it by 3 at the end of the first quarter. We'll be back for the second quarter after this word from our local stations. This is your WIAA network station. The first quarter in the books in our second Division III semifinal. Owen Withee leading the Fall Creek Crickets by 3. And take a look at the stats for Owen Withee, especially that one on the bottom. Robin Vitonis, the center, 5 out of 6, 10 of their 14 points. She is playing tremendously on the inside.
So far, the game plan is just the way Coach ordered.
Oh, and the outside jumper in by Tony Quast. That was good. 14-13. That was a good-looking jump shot. The Crickets back within 1.
Owen Withee guards are doing a nice job penetrating.
Kelly Werman gets in there and no place to go, but gets it to Grakowski. Nice ball movement by the Blackhawks. Near to Royce Ruby, who couldn't hold on. Ruby back in for Vitonis during the break. 9 turnovers for the Blackhawks.
Quast was also a all-conference player for 3 years. Another 3-point threat on the team. They've got quite a few of them if they need to use them.
Crandall out top. Skip past the Raider. A little bit strong and tracked down by Jill Neer. Sophomore point guard playing very well for the Blackhawks right now.
I think you mentioned Jill is the assistant coach's daughter, who ended up in the starting lineup after the head coach, Al Gutman's daughter, went down with an injury earlier in the season, the second game of the season. So both coaches on the team coaching their daughters.
And both point guards.
And both point guards, right. And probably both friends.
The last shot in there was by Grakowski after the nice lob by Neer. The Crickets can't answer, so the lead is 3 for Owen Withee. Starting units in for both teams with the exception of Royce Ruby for Robin Vitonis. That interior pass was stolen by Tony Quast.
Probably as long as the team is up and stable, Vitonis can get a nice rest before he finishes out the second quarter.
Well, we think we found Sackett's spot. She's 3 out of 3 in the game. We know 2 of them have been right there on the elbow and nothing but net.
Sackett was praised by our coach for being the best perimeter defender, and here she's having a great offensive morning.
Grakowski scores again, so Vitonis goes out and Grakowski picks up the load. She's got the inside game working very well for the Blackhawks. 3-point lead. Crandall's first shot of the game is off. Rebound Schumacher, she is fouled.
Fall Creek came out this quarter a little bit more patient on offense, making a few more passes than they did earlier.
Al Gutman watching his game plan work to perfection so far on the offensive end.
At the line,
Cindy Schumacher, 59% on the year, averaging 12 a game, 5'11 senior. Scored over 1,000 points in her career. And that draws the Crickets within 2 with 5:27 to go here in the first half. The winner of this one gets Oostburg in Saturday's final. Earlier this morning, Oostburg beating Mondovi 58-46. The steal by the Crickets. Second, 4 out of 4 now.
The intensity of the guard for Fall Creek has just picked up a notch.
Sackett with 8 points. Werman lost the handle on it. Schumacher had it, and here come the Crickets. Crandall's pass for Quast was just a little off the mark. There's a good look at Arnie in his 13th year.
What a program they've got going at their school. In a variety of sports, both boys and girls, it's just been filled with success.
Particularly in girls basketball. They made 6 straight trips down here to Madison between 1985 and 1990. They won it all in 85, 87, and 88 in Class C. In 88, they beat Owen Withee in the championship. They were runners-up in 1986 and 1990. Schumacher scores again. And they have their first lead since 7-6. The Crickets on top 20-18.
Just a big
possession for Owen Withee. And it was a turnover, mishandled pass.
Faith Jasinski into the game, couldn't hang on to that one. Turnover number 13 on the Blackhawks.
Owen Withee keeps the pressure up. Haven't gotten a lot of steals, but it slowed the game down a little bit.
They get it up to Crandall.
We're talking about all the championships. Crandall's two older sisters both received medals in
87 and 88. I think
right.
they were in those years. Nikki and Misty.
And we asked her yesterday, do you want to get yours? And she was kind of bashful and smiled. Yeah.
She didn't want to say it. I think she wants one.
No boys in the family.
In case you're wondering, right, no boys. And Misty, Nikki, and Holly, if you're keeping score at home, are all spelled with I's at the end. Thought you'd like to know that alphabetical information. Grakowski shot inside off the rim, but she gets it back and knocks it home. She's got 10. We're tied at 20.
Grakowski really relieves the pressure and is able to do good things on the offensive end and defensive end.
Here come the Blackhawks. Werman taking it all the way to the hole and lays it in. 4 in a row by the Blackhawks to regain the lead.
Werman, another all-conference selection for Clover Belt East.
She had 16 points in the sectional final against ranked team number 9, Michigan. And there's Werman with a rebound. So a chance to push the lead to 4.
Right idea, a little flat on the pass.
That was a long way to throw a lob pass. Here is the fast break. Kelly Werman, her coach says, surprising quickness, and she's picked up her scoring in the postseason. So she picked off the pass there and took it all the way in for 2.
Quick hands and a good athlete.
Inside, Grakowski won't fall. Sack at the rebound. Arneson, a freshman. Tony Quasma. Carissa Connell is back in, number 51 in the post for Fall Creek. Pass inside to Quas. Nice job tracking that one down. Quas loads up a 3. Rebound Blackhawk.
Fall Creek's doing a good job getting back.
2.5 to go in the first half.
Making Owen Withee slow down, play a half-court game.
And that one went off of Jill Neers, so it'll belong to Arnie's crew. 14 turnovers for Owen Withee. Faith Jasinski back in, number 22 for the Blackhawks. Inside to Connell, nice drop step. Again, that's a freshman making that move.
What will she be like as a senior?
I gotta believe we'll see her here again. Jasinski holding down in the corner. She lobs it to Vaitonis, makes some room and scores the basket.
Vaitonis has a nice height advantage, so even when they backside on the lob, she can still catch the ball, keep it high, and put it up.
She's 6 of 7 from the field. Connell tracks down the errant pass. Skip to Sackett, that's her spot.
Can't leave her open. She's very hot from that free throw line.
We're going to have to talk to Arnie. His number 1 defender hasn't missed a shot from the field in the first half. She's 5 for 5. We're tied at 24. Vaitonis too far under the basket that time.
Owen Withee doesn't want to get into the position of forcing the ball into her. She wasn't in very good position that time. She was too far underneath the backboard. Although it's a little hard to tell on these courts. You got to get used to that.
That was Candy Gressner checking back in. Coming up on a minute to go here in the first half. We're tied at 24. This has been a great ball game. Sack it again. Whoa! She must have heard us the last time down the floor.
Well, she thought, I'm open. Might as well.
So that only makes her 5 out of 6 from the field. Most people would take that percentage. Looking for Vaitonis. She's got it. Little short. Schumacher with the rebound. Inside of a minute. Tied at 24. Arneson on the break. Pass for Klaus was kicked off of Candy Greshner, so the Crickets will have it underneath the Blackhawk basket. There's Denise Arneson, a freshman, playing very well for Coach Arnie. Arneson, the three ball.
Well, she's come to play today. She's not showing the freshman jitters.
She scored over 100 points off the bench as a freshman. And it's a 3-point lead for the Crickets. Pass picked off by Claude. They'll try and convert on the 16th turnover by the Blackhawks. Skip pass to Sackett. And a jump ball called. It'll belong to the Crickets. Connell and Grakowski battling for it.
What a great first half to both teams.
No one's really been able to push it out by more than 4 points.
Minimum of foul trouble. No one really. It's been a great half.
Only problem is that they had a bunch of turnovers. I think Owen Withee would not. 16 turnovers in the first half is a lot. Gundry into the game. She can't hit. Connell the rebound and the foul. The freshman doing the damage.
Pass went inside, and she wasn't quite squared up, so she missed it, and then just really went up strong. Took it to her.
And it crawls around and drops, and now the Crickets have a 6-point lead with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Owen Withee needs a basket here.
Fall Creek has extended their pressure a little bit, but Owen Withee's guards are certainly able to handle the
Vaitonis,
ball.
short. The Crickets, 7 seconds. Schumacher in trouble. See if they get a shot off. Crandall will try it and won't go. But the Crickets come roaring back to take the biggest lead of the half at 30-24 over the Blackhawks of Owen Withee. Mark Graffentine will be along with our halftime coverage, so stick around because we'll be back for the 1994 Girls State Basketball Tournament after this word from our statewide sponsors, Marshfield Clinic and the Wisconsin Milk Marketing Board. This is your WIAA network station. Halftime at the Fieldhouse, Division III semifinal. The Crickets chirping away to a 30-24 lead over the Blackhawks, the second meeting of the season between these two teams. The first game went to Fall Creek. Chris Roth and Gail Champion back with you. And 24-22, Owen Withee was on top at 8 straight points by the Crickets to close out the half.
And the most unexpected people.
Yeah.
2 freshmen step up, hit a three-pointer, hit an inside move, goes to the free throw line, hits another free throw. I mean, they just aren't playing like freshmen today.
Carissa Connell has really been impressive in the post, as has Robin Vaitonis for the Blackhawks, but Connell doing it off the bench.
That's right. You know, what can you ask? Vaitonis is really going to come alive now the second half, pull him back in like she did the first quarter.
She seemed to get a little bit tired. Maybe the halftime break will help her out. I'm sure it will. She'll be back, probably scoring a bunch in the third quarter. We'll be back with highlights and stats, but first we'll throw it across the court to our very own Mark Graffentine. Mark.
Thank you, Chris. Nice job first half. Well, as if the Fieldhouse hasn't been busy enough lately, 2 weeks ago.
Thanks very much, Mark. As you mentioned, it's a 6-point lead for the Crickets, and they started to do the damage late in the game. We were really back and forth. No one could really open anything up. This is the largest lead of the game.
Right. Owen Withee probably wanted to hang on a little narrower margin going into the half, but I don't think they're in trouble.
Oh, I don't think so either. They started out very well. Let's take a look at the highlights. Robin Vaitonis, who had foul trouble the first time these two teams met, really doing the damage. She had 12 points in the first half, 10 in the first quarter.
Really had her head up looking to pass that ball inside. Good catch.
The shooting star, I think, so far for the Crickets has to be Susan Sackett.
The defensive specialist.
Yeah, the defensive specialist, 5 out of 6 from the field. They got a big lift off the bench from some freshmen, Carissa Connell on the inside.
Stepped right through. Took it up strong.
Strong move. And the steal. Fall Creek. A lot of turnovers in the first half for Owen Withee. I'm sure they're talking about that at halftime.
Right. The turnovers are the most noticeable statistic that has put them behind, plus the points off the turnovers.
Susan Sackett, as we said, 5 out of 6. The Twin Towers working pretty well, though, for Owen Withee. When Vitonis needed a break, Rakowski was able to pick up the scoring
Right.
side.
And that's what they need. And the Twin Towers, really, just like what you said, they both had just about the same points.
Now, the Crickets have turned the ball over as well, just not as often.
That's right. I think Owen Withee needs to get their guards into the offense a little bit more, because their posts are doing well, but they got to open it up a little bit more with some guards looking to score. They've been scoring off of layups with some outside jump shots.
Need to get another dimension into the offense. Well, there was an added dimension. Denise Arneson starting the 8-0 run with a three-pointer, and that leads us to the 30-24 halftime score. As you look at the Menards halftime statistics, I think both teams, as you mentioned, we were talking in the timeout, the shooting has been phenomenal.
It has been great, and the defense hasn't let down at all. But for both teams to be shooting over 50%, doing well on the free throw line, pretty even in rebounds. Like I said, the turnover statistic, Owen Withee just actually forcing maybe passes inside that shouldn't have gone, or trying to fast break and the guards couldn't catch it. So they need to take care of the ball a little bit better.
Leading scorers, Susan Sackett with 10, Robin Vitonis with 12 for the Crickets and the Blackhawks. We'll be back for the second half now. Coming up, should be a good one after these words from our statewide sponsors, Rural Insurance and the Wisconsin Technical College System. This is your WIAA network station. We're already in the third quarter, for that matter. 30-24 Crickets. Welcome back to the Fieldhouse, everybody. The winner of this one gets Oostburg in Saturday's Division III final. Owen Withee with the first crack at it, and Rakowski is hacked.
There's a little different look. Vitonis on the baseline, looking to drive, and Rakowski waiting for the possible missed shot, and drew another taller defender away from the basket.
Think we'll see more of that?
We'll see. I don't know.
If it works, I bet we will. Rakowski hits the first one. She's got 11.
Rakowski has the longest list on this team of extracurricular activities. I couldn't even write them all down. She's just in many sports and clubs and has gotten many awards. Just a fine student athlete.
She hurt her ankle midway through the season, and the coaches say she's still not 100%.
You wouldn't know it with today's performance.
Yeah. I think these coaches, they try and keep everything low-key and be a little deceptive. I mean, Sackett is #1 defender. She's 5 out of 7 from the field from Fall Creek. Rakowski's not at 100%, but she's got 11 points. And I think we're going to have a jump ball here, and it'll belong to the Crickets. There's Susan Sackett, the leading scorer for the Crickets in the game. 10 points. Schumacher will trigger from the baseline. Inside Schumacher. Too strong, but Rader the offensive putback. Her first points of the game.
Haven't heard too much from her.
No,
apparently she was in foul trouble last time they played, and that really hurt them inside because she's one of their better post defenders. Well, maybe that'll get her started.
Gressner's three long, Quas, 1-on-2, and a foul on the ground, I think, before the shot. Foul is on Candy Gressner, her second. But I think that was a good shot on the other end. You talked about it at halftime, that they need to have another dimension, and the outside shot is going to help Vitonis and Rakowski even more.
Right, otherwise there's just too much defense packing in on the two of them, and they won't be able to catch easy passes. Now, that was not an easy pass.
No, that was a bold move there. Rakowski was calling for it, but doesn't mean you have to throw it to him.
Right. Guards have got to make good choices.
So 32-25 our score, 7-point Fall Creek lead. The largest of the game was 6 at half, and we are just into the third quarter, minute and a half gone by. Schumacher working on Vitonis, double pump and gets it in.
Schumacher had excellent position inside. She really had her sealed. And then she's able to do whatever she wants with it.
It's a 9-point Cricket lead.
Great pass.
Rakowski and the foul. Take us through this one, Coach.
Great bounce pass. Right on the money.
Super position by Rakowski. Sealed off the defender. The only place to go was right to the glass.
That time she called for the ball, and she was in a position to receive it well.
So with a free throw here, she can cut it to a 6-point game. Schumacher leaves with her 3rd foul. So I think we'll see Becky Gundry or Carissa Connell. It is Connell, number 51, who takes over for Schumacher. And the way Connell has played, you don't really lose much there. Crandall carried the ball. That'll be a turnover. Number 11 is Don Kerr.
A little high with that dribble. Good pressure by the guards, though. Great matchup with young guards.
Candy Greshner leaves it for Grakowski, and she couldn't quite hold on to it. And here come the Crickets. Here's Connell. Let's see if she can get a shot free. She does, but a little bit wild. Vitonis goes down to the deck. And Jill Neer will set the offense. Werman, Greshner, the starting 5 in there for the Blackhawks. Neer, Grakowski, and Vitonis. Werman drives, blocked by Connell, and then Connell and Grakowski tie it up.
I think Coach wants them to penetrate, but small guard going opposite that center just wasn't going to work.
That shot was going nowhere.
She just takes up a lot of space inside. She's got big wingspan.
Got to get it in. They do. Jill Neer.
Ball quick spacing on half-court man.
Vitonis has only touched the ball once in this quarter. Greshner, driving move, blocked by Quast. So the Crickets trying to extend their 6-point lead. Second, nice penetration.
Really attacking the zone well.
The half hook by Quast.
Probably not. Vitonis needs to touch the ball.
Their shooting percentages are falling a little bit here in the 3rd quarter.
He's getting a little tired.
The time roll for Kelly Werman. Her 2nd basket of the game. She averages 9. She has been scoring well in the tournament. As we said, 16 points in the sectional final against Michigan.
And Vitonis had a big day that day also. She had 17. So those two really led them into the state tournament with their scoring. So Owen Withee guards have been pressing the whole game, and they just seem to be a little winded. There hasn't been a lot of subbing between those 3.
Well, here comes some subs for the Crickets. Arneson is in, and so is Becky Gundry, and they replace Sackett and Rader. This is Arneson, and this is Gundry. She can't get the kind roll, and Vitonis rips the rebound out of there. Werman on the push.
I know Vitonis hasn't touched the ball that much, but Coach mentioned to us, too, that he feels any player that he puts out on the floor, if they're open and if they're shot, he wants them to take it. He likes the balance scoring attack.
Greshner had the right idea, but there was too much traffic in there.
Fall Creek's defense really helps well. So the guards are doing a nice job penetrating, but the help just seems to be sagging toward the ball, and they're getting their hand on it.
Vitonis tried to get it back, but instead she picks up her 2nd foul.
More of a frustration foul. Double teaming pressure again by the Owen Withee guards. Quast does a nice job handling the ball.
Quast trying to find some room on the baseline, and she traveled trying to split the double team there.
That's important on both of the defenses. There's a lot of help, so when the penetration comes, someone steps up and helps.
And I think that ball was tipped. So we'll stay with the Blackhawks. And Sackett coming back in for the Crickets. And we're going to take a timeout with the Crickets leading the Blackhawks of Owen Withee by 4. We'll return after this word from our statewide sponsors, Senex Land O'Lakes and the Marshfield Clinic. This is your WIAA network station. Welcome back to the field house. The Cricket fans chirping their pleasure at a 4-point lead here in the 3rd quarter. You know I got to use the Crickets chirping thing over and over and over and over again.
probably not the first time they've heard that.
I'm sure it's not. It's so obvious I had to use it. They get it inside to Vaitonis. Just the second time she's touched the ball in the third quarter, and right there she makes something good happen. I was a little surprised she had not touched the ball earlier.
Well, she's going up against a freshman. She's got to take it to her. She hasn't touched the ball, and the guards don't seem to be shooting a lot.
There's the shooting percentages we mentioned a moment ago that we thought they were falling, and indeed they are.
Slipped off a little bit. I don't know if too many girls around the state that shoot over 50% in a game, so that's going to happen.
Vaitonis gets her first point in quite some time. She's got 13. I say it here, and it comes out on the screen. It's amazing.
All right, here we go.
3-point lead now for the Crickets of Fall Creek.
Fall Creek trying to attack the zone with dribble penetration, ball reversal.
Surprised Holly Crandall hasn't scored yet. Almost 11
She's been a
points
little
a game.
silent. She's done a good job defensively and bringing the ball up, but we haven't heard from her on the scoring end.
And one of the matchups that both coaches talked about was how physical the Cricket guards were and how tough that was for the smaller guards of Owen Withee, but they haven't really used that to their advantage today. Everything's been done on the inside.
Schumacher has had for a long time. She picked up the third ball, and knowing she's going to come back in.
Second, blocked by Vaitonis. Her lunch packed, but she gets it right back. There's Crandall in and out for the three. See if she tries it again. Arneson, she hit from before in the first half, but that one way off the mark to Grakowski. Good hands by Arneson.
Fall Creek really wanted to concentrate on getting back and not giving up any easy points. And that time they were successful. Many times they've been successful today, actually.
I'd like to tell you that the WIAA State Tournament is brought to you statewide by the Rural Insurance Companies, providing Wisconsin families and businesses with a full line of insurance needs. I want to make sure we didn't miss anything.
What you missed was a lot of battling on the boards. Boy, both teams aren't afraid to mix it up inside.
Connell has it and stolen away by Grakowski, a jump ball. It'll stay with the Crickets. Connell was all set to take it to the basket. Good help defense by Grakowski. Tony Quast is going to come back in now for the Crickets, replacing Sackett. So the Crickets going with a very big lineup now with Gundry, Quast, and Connell in there. Too big for that pass. So the Blackhawks trying to narrow the lead down to one or perhaps tie with a 3-ball. They'll go into Vaitonis. Good catch in traffic.
That was tough. She did call for the ball. Pass was a little bit off, but she really made the best of it.
So it's a 1-point game. The Crickets have scored just 4 points in this quarter with a minute and a half to go.
They've been getting shots, they just haven't connected.
Good ball.
There's another one.
Yeah. Loose ball. Connell has it. She gets it outside to Arneson. Now Quast at the top of the key. Crandall reloads the offense. Coming up on a minute to go here in the third quarter. Fall Creek in white with a 1-point lead. I think she was surprised she was so wide open. Turned around, no one was there.
Well, you always have to look. Take them when they're there.
Gundry's basket pushes the lead back to 3. Near into Grakowski. The double team comes, but Grakowski gets by it, but that's because she used an extra step. Jasinski and Roy Scrooby, number 52, come in for the Blackhawks, replacing Vaitonis and Greshner.
Full court pressure still part of the game plan. And it's a full long court. It's wide, it's tough, you know, it's different from
10 feet.
Yeah, it's a lot different than high school. Guards seem to be in excellent shape.
Gundry from the same spot gives it up to Quast. She drives. And the ball goes to Owen Withee with 28.6 to go.
His defense is really extended. And paid off.
Yeah, I think that was a little inadvertent trip there. She stepped on Hallie Crandall's foot, and Jill Neer went to the ground, and the ball goes back to the Crickets, who have a 3-point lead, 20 seconds to go.
Go for one. Pull it out. Pull it out.
Cricket coaching staff screaming to go for one. They wanted her to pull it out, but they found Connell inside. She can't convert, so Owen Withee will have a shot.
That was a nice move to the basket, though.
Got to get it off. She throws up a three. It is short, and time runs out in the third quarter. Just 8 minutes remaining in our second Division III semifinal. The lead goes to the Crickets, 36-33. We'll be back in a moment after this word from our local stations. This is your WIAA network station. Only 6 points for the Fall Creek Crickets in the third quarter, and there you see one reason why, Coach.
Right. Just the shooting percentage just has fallen off drastically.
Owen Withee has fallen off as well, but not nearly as far. They scored 9 in the third to close what was a 6-point halftime margin to just 3 as we enter the fourth quarter. Again, the winner gets Oostburg in the finals on Saturday. Chris Roth and Gail Champion with you at the field house. 4 more games coming up later today along the WIAA network. The Division I quarterfinals get underway this afternoon and will continue tonight. Grakowski will get called over the back, I do believe. Foul number 1 on Colleen Grakowski.
If we thought this game was somewhat physical, it is really going to pick up physical intensity this quarter. They are now playing for it. Good patience breaking the press. They really haven't had problems with it the whole game.
Handles the ball very well. Sackett, loose ball, and they cannot save it. So turnover for Fall Creek. That's 15 on them. I think Jill Neer is going the whole way, hasn't she?
Yeah, I don't. They haven't subbed much at the guard position.
As has Kelly Worman. Both sophomores are playing a lot of minutes.
And composed.
Vitonis tried to kick it back out. It was picked off by Sackett. No place to go. Be able to track down the ball. Kloss pulls up at the free throw line and hits it.
Able to get by the guards. Get to the free throw line elbow. Got to take that shot. 6
points for the 5'10 senior. 3-time all-conference player is Tony Kloss. She averages nearly 12 points a game, so a little quiet today for her. Nice give from Grakowski to Vitonis. 17 points for Robin Vitonis.
Well, she has her average. Now let's see what she does the rest of the quarter.
And she's got another rebound as well. She's got a bunch of those. Pass goes right through Dressner's hands, but then Kloss tipped it out of bounds, so Owen Withee avoids another turnover.
Kloss has really had the height advantage to be able to shoot over any of the Owen Withee guards. Hasn't really shoot that much, but...
So they changed the call, so they didn't give it to Fall Creek. Reeder thinks about a 3. And here come the Blackhawks. 38-35 our score. 5:55 to go. Neer dribbles around, finds an open Worman, and she nails it.
That's what they need right there. Worman, too, is averaging 9.96.
Worman, the steal. Almost had another bucket. And that gets the Blackhawks faithful on their feet. Italy energy boost here for the Blackhawks of Owen Withee, provided by sophomore Kelly Worman. I believe that's the first steal that they've had in the backcourt off the inbounds. They've been pressuring the whole way. Worman, the little jump free throw is short. She's a 57% shooter from the line. One out of 2. We are tied at 38.
Pressure continues.
Worman almost had another steal.
There it is.
And there's a steal steal by Neer, and they'll try and break our first tie since it was 22 all. Greshner. Tell who she was lobbing it to there, yeah.
Onside. She wanted her to go one way and goes to the other.
So Coach Arney's going to send in another ball handler to combat this pressure, which has really picked up for the Blackhawks. Arneson will replace Susan Sackett. Vaitonis to steal. Oh! A three-point opportunity for the Blackhawks and Robin Vaitonis.
That really has charged her up. She read the pass and she met the pass.
3 straight times now the Crickets have not gotten the ball across half court. Arney wants a timeout. The Blackhawks have their first lead since it was 22-20. Vaitonis going for the three-point play. Can't get it, a 2-point lead, but Werman the offensive rebound, picking up the change and a timeout. The Blackhawks have stormed back to take the lead at 40-38. We'll be back for our fourth quarter action after this word from our statewide sponsors, the Wisconsin Milk Marketing Board and Rural Insurance. This is your WIAA network station. Welcome back. Owen Withee has their first lead since the second quarter. It was 22-20. They let it then. They lead it now, 40-38. It's been a close ball game throughout.
It has been an excellent ball game. 7 lead changes, 6 ties. How much more excitement could you want?
Look at the stats. Robin Vaitonis having a great game, 19.6 rebounds. She just had that last steal. Schumacher with 8 points has played well, but is saddled with 3 fouls. Greshner swings it off the glass and scores.
A real boost for Owen Withee. Full court pressure, 1-2-1-1.
Greshner's first points of the game. We'll see if the Crickets can get it across half court. They do for the first time in their last 4 trips.
It's been a while since they've been over on this side of the floor. And each possession right now is an important one.
The Fall Creek faithful looking very concerned at the moment. Denise Arneson, there's Connell, nice fake, takes it down the lane, and that ends the drought. 9 points for her to bring the Crickets back within 2. Werman from the baseline again. A little strong, the rebound to Connell.
Here we got Schumacher handling the ball.
We get to see her guard skills, and there they are. We're tied again. Our 7th tie of the game coming up on 4 minutes to go in the final quarter. The winner to face Oostburg in the Division III championship on Saturday. Vaitonis, 21 points in the game.
Nice soft shot. Shooting confidently.
Arneson lost it. She tripped, and Jill Neer was able to get it before it went out of bounds, and she'll reload the offense out top.
I think she was trying to make a pass off the
I think she was, but she couldn't quite get it around. She looks tired, too. State tournament brought to you statewide by Marshfield Clinic, Wisconsin's most comprehensive health care system. Nice of the officials to wait while I read that.
Press is still alive.
They get it across. Crandall, now it's a 2-on-1. Connell, fouled by Vaitonis.
Well, she could afford the fall, but I'm not sure she seems to be in some pain right now.
See if we can catch it. That was a pretty good shot in the ribs. She is really in pain. Officials letting her collect herself.
I don't even want to wager to guess at what's hurt. I can't tell.
Well, we've seen Connell take it up strong. Don't want to get in the way, and that's what happened.
You know, she fouled without Connell scoring the basket. And here she missed her first free throw. Smart foul.
So Royce Gruby will replace Vaitonis, who'll collect herself on the bench and come back in. 21 points you see for her on the day. Connell misses them both. Werman tracks down the rebound. So it's a 2-point edge for the Blackhawks. 3.5 to go in the fourth quarter. Division III semifinals. Field House in Madison. Werman loads it up from outside, a little strong. Quast is already at the table, or excuse me, Bytonis already at the table, ready to come back in. That was Quast with the rebound.
Yeah.
Schumacher picks up her fourth. We are told that is her fifth. It is her fifth foul.
Instead of slipping under her arm, he kind of gave her the shoulder. It was a good call. Unfortunate for her, though.
The senior fouls out with 8 points. Becky Gundry, the junior, number 43, takes her place for this final 3:06. And Cindy Schumacher's Crickets trailing by 2. Blocked from behind by Quast. Stolen by Werman. Greshner fouled.
Those two are probably one of the best tandems of sophomore guards in the state. They are just really working well together.
Lightning quick.
Quick hands. Still sees the floor even though she's falling down. Coach
Arnie out on the
timeout.
floor wants a timeout. Our cameras see him, but his players don't.
They're concentrating too hard.
Greshner misses
There we
the
go.
first. Now we get the timeout. It's a 2-point Blackhawk lead. We'll return after this word from our statewide sponsors, Wisconsin Technical College and Senex Land O'Lakes, WIAA network station. .253 remaining in our second Division III semifinal. What a tremendous game we have had. 7 ties, 7 lead changes. The last time these two teams met, just 3 weeks ago, Fall Creek beat Owen Withee 64-39. Much different story today. Greshner hits the second of 2. She had missed the first one, and it's a 3-point lead. Nearly a steal by Greshner, but she'll pick up the foul instead.
First, we haven't commented on the tattoos worn by the Blackhawks yet.
I didn't know you wanted them to. I can't quite figure out what they are. Tipped out of bounds. It'll go to the Crickets, but all the Owen Withee players are, most of them anyway. Yeah, I think all of them.
Yep.
Something tattooed on their calf. We'll have to find out what that is.
Something to bond the team together.
Yeah, pain. That hurts for the Crickets. They missed a shot, but it helps the fact that Owen Withee couldn't control it. .227. Crickets down by 3. Crandall has not scored, I don't think, in this game.
Owen Withee stays in the 2-3 zone.
She's really shy to take the shot. Arneson. 3 ball in and out. Gundry. Connell will try.
Connell really having a whale of a game for Fall Creek.
I think it's 11 points for the freshman. Brings the Crickets within 1. Werman, nice give to Grakowski. I think we've got a line on the tattoo scale. I know this is what you're waiting for. That looks like Bugs Bunny.
You know what? Coach has got a Bugs Bunny tie on. I saw that before the game started.
You think those are real?
There's some symbolism
You think
there.
those are real?
Oh, I hope not for their sake. It's fun today,
Well,
but it's not going to be fun later on.
Bugs Bunny. I mean, if you're going to pick a tattoo, you're pretty safe with Bugs.
Here's Coach's tie.
What's he got there?
Oh, our Mickey Mouse.
Look at the Mickey Mouse, little Fantasia action on that tie. That's better than mine. Grakowski missed them both. Quast flying down the court.
Great catch on the run.
The Crickets are back on top. Our 8th lead change of this game. They're up by 1. Werman inside. I think we've got 9 lead changes, but she couldn't make the layup. Arnie wants a timeout. And he'll get one. 1:35 left. The Crickets have come back out on top, and we'll return for the final exciting minute 35 after this word from our statewide sponsor, the Wisconsin Technical College System. Show WIAA Network Station.
There's a good
Okay.
one.
All right. Looney Tunes characters and Mickey Mouse and the whole 9 yards. That's Tweety Bird, isn't it? It's been a long time since I've watched cartoons.
Yeah, I'm the wrong
At least I'm
person
going
to
to say
ask.
that anyway. I'm not going to tell everybody I watch cartoons over on statewide television. I'm thinking those are fake tattoos, though. I think that's a temporary tattoo. Although if they win this game, they might just go out and get permanent ones.
That, along with the shaved heads by boys and girls, seems to be the fad of the spring of '94.
First things first, though, it's the Fall Creek 1-point lead. Owen Withee with the ball underneath the Fall Creek basket. We've had 7 ties, 8 lead changes. They lob it into Vitonis, stolen by the Crickets.
She was pretty well covered on that inbound play.
Turnover number 25, says statistician Don Kerr. Nearly stolen by the Blackhawks.
Big possession for Fall Creek now. They really need to have a good shot.
And Owen Withee needs to pitch a shutout on this end.
You may want to try to bring them out of the zone now.
Run a little clock through the Crickets.
Need to extend the zone, if not match up.
Werman and Neer, the 2 guards for the Blackhawks, have played the whole way. And they're going to we'll see how tired they are now chasing the ball. We're inside of a minute. There's the foul. It's going to be on Greshner. Arneson is fouled, and I think we're going to get a timeout. Greshner with his 4th. Al Gutman calls a timeout. Talk it over.
I was mentioning how difficult it is to trap on court this full, but it's also easier to spread the floor to stall on a court this wide. And Owen Withee had no choice but to come out. Tried for the steal, they tried to double team. They really needed to go and foul, or they may have never regained the possession of the ball.
Now the Crickets, a rich tradition down here at State. The Blackhawks have been here 5 times. Of course, these 2 teams meeting the Class C final back in 1988, with Fall Creek taking the title that year. Fall Creek also winning it in 87, in 85, runners-up in 86, and in 1990 it was their 7th trip. Overall, very solid program year in and year out. He talked about one of the reasons yesterday.
Right. Fall Creek, one of Arnie's quotes to us yesterday, we're not going to get outworked, and they really show that every time they get on the floor.
And the kids that come in to play for him know that philosophy, know it well. They've had good stability in their junior high system with the coaches. That's been the key, because the kids come to him and they know what to expect. And I think we've seen that today with 2 freshmen, Arneson and Connell, playing very well, very solid, not making freshman mistakes. In fact, Connell's been one of the main reasons for their lead at this point. She's had a tremendous game inside, helping offset the big game by Robin Vitonis. There's the foul. Greshner, I think, has fouled out. Candy Greshner, the senior, has fouled out. And one of the things they count on her most for is her leadership, and they'll lose it for the final 50.8. No, it's only 3.
She's surprised.
I'm surprised. The scoreboard has her with 5 fouls. It is 5. Okay. So Faith Jasinski will replace Greshner. And Holly Crandall will have a chance to get in the scoring problem. The junior guard averaging nearly 11 a game. Shut out today. She's only taken a couple of shots.
Today and handling the pressure.
Well, she's still got the collar. Arnie screaming for the defense to get back. There's a dangerous pass. And Robin Vitonis asking Jill Neer, why did you throw that one?
No passing angle, really throwing the ball over the top of her head. They really got to scramble on this press right now.
1 point lead for Fall Creek. Time winding down. Now they're going to have to. There it is. So they'll send Tony Quast, a 60% free throw shooter, to the line. Looking at watching Jill Neer, the point guard for the Blackhawks, who's played the entire way. It doesn't even look like she's breathing at it. Cross hits the front end of the 1-and-1. It's a 2-point Fall Creek lead for Coach Arnie Stuker. In and out, and back in. Traveled around a little bit. 3-point lead, 25 seconds to go. Top 3-point shooter is on the bench, Candy Greshner. Werman, 2 tries, can't get it to go. Connell, the rebound jump ball belongs to Owen Withee.
Werman had the choice of either driving in, hoping she dropped the bucket and got fouled, or taking a 3. She chose the drive. Unfortunately, came up a little short.
Candy Greshner, who had just fouled out, the guard, has shot the most 3-pointers for the Blackhawks, 7 for 37. Kelly Werman has the best percentage on the team, 6 for 25. So if we get into that situation, and I think we're just about there, look for Kelly Werman to load up the 3-ball. 15.9. Do you work for the long one, or do you work it inside and hope for a bucket and a foul?
She had the chance right there, and I think she was just a little tired. She's been playing through the whole game. They haven't really shot that much from the outside. They have the confidence in this particular game, so I would think that they would go inside.
How much time can they afford to run then if they're not going to count on a 3-pointer? They've got to do it in a hurry.
Right. We are in a hurry-up offense, to say the least. Excellent game by both teams, though. This was a fun one.
A marked contrast from their first meeting of the year when it was won 64-39 by Fall Creek. Both teams coming out of the Clover Belt Conference. Fall Creek, champions of the West. Owen Withee, the champions of the East. 10 in a row for Fall Creek in the West. And whoever wins this game gets Oostburg in the finals on Saturday. Oostburg, a 58-46 winner earlier this morning over Mondovi. 34 points by Danelle Vanderplas. The record was 39. She's 5 points short to that. Oostburg using a 9-0 run in the third quarter to open up a close game. They win it by 12. They're in the finals, and there's the wild 3 by the Blackhawks. Still a loose ball, jump ball. Now to Fall Creek, and that was surprising.
Yeah, Royce took the shot and hadn't really shot during the game, and I think someone got a partial block on it. She really forced it up.
So there's the foul, sending the freshman Denise Arneson, a 48% free throw shooter, will walk down. 8.4 left. The Blackhawks down 3.
Can't say enough about the freshmen for Fall Creek, where they really came to play with such composure and poise.
No good, but a big rebound by Gundry, and quickly a jump ball is called as Ruby tied her up, so Owen Withee gets it back. They got to work the length of the floor here with 7.5 to go, and they're down by 3. And 3-pointers are not a big part of their arsenal. We'll see what happens. Vitonis, this could be her day. Time runs out. The Crickets of Fall Creek will face the Flying Dutchman in the finals on Saturday. They beat Owen Withee 48-45 in the semifinals. And we'll be back to wrap this one up after a word from our local stations. This is your WIAA network station. The Crickets are going to the championship game once again. They've been there 5 other times. They've won it 3 times. They'll go for title number 4 on Saturday. Winning head coach Arnie Strukrud is standing by now on the other side of the court with our Mark Krapatine. Gentlemen.
Thank you, Chris. Coach, they don't make it very easy for you, do they?
That was a heck of a basketball game. Owen Withee played super today. We're really glad we could beat them.
You beat Owen Withee by 25 points in the regular season finale. What changed between that game and this one?
Vitonis stayed in the ball game. That was the big key. She got in foul trouble early up there, and we kind of took care of business with our defense. But boy, when she's on the floor, she is tough.
Is it a good thing to have a close game like this to get into the finals? Would you rather have it be a close one that you had to fight for, or would you rather have won by 15?
As a coach, it's always better to win big because then you don't have to worry about it, but we'll take it any way we can get it.
Oostburg isn't really a one-person team, but they do have a tremendous player. What are you going to do to stop Danielle?
Well, I haven't really thought about it, and we'll try to work on that tomorrow. She's a tremendous ball player. Seems like she had a sister that took care of business on us a couple of years ago, so it'll be interesting. We'll come to play.
Okay, Coach, congratulations. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Saturday's final will be in Division 3. It's Fall Creek versus Oostburg. Let's go back to Chris and Gail to take a look at the end of this game.
Thanks very much, Mark. What a game. What a ball game. I think we had 8 ties in this game, 8 lead changes, something like that. Back and forth we go, and it's the Crickets who win it by 1. We'll take a look at some of the second half highlights briefly here in what we said was a tremendous game. The big game by the senior Robin Vitonis. Candy Greshner also playing in her final game for the Blackhawks. That was part of that big early fourth quarter run for the Blackhawks that put them back up by 4. They really had momentum on their side.
Their press was really working well at that moment.
The
and a freshman.
Yeah.
Unstoppable.
We ought to just throw that title right out the window. She was the leading scorer today. Connell was with 11 points and 4 rebounds off the bench. There are the statistics. We expected the shooting to drop. It did a little bit. The rebounds pretty much even. Leading scorer for Owen Withee, closing out a tremendous career. Robin Vitonis, 21 points, 8 rebounds. Colleen Grakowski, also a senior, had 14 points, 10 rebounds for Owen Withee. They come up just 3 points short, 48-45. Quast with 10, Sackett with 10 for Fall Creek. They advance on to play Oostburg on Saturday.
Should be a great game.
We hope so. Gail, it's been
Looking
a pleasure.
forward to
Let's go back over to Mark.
Thanks, Chris. It's fitting that they call this the old barn because that was certainly a barn burner. Stay with us. In about an hour, we'll be back with the first of the Division I quarterfinal games. It's DC Evers taking on Pulaski. And then right after that, it's undefeated La Crosse Central, ranked 16th in the nation by USA Today, taking on the Manitowoc Ships. So we hope to see you back here in about an hour. That'll be at 2 o'clock on the WIAA network station that you're watching right now. Hope to see you then.